Okay, I thought I'd make a quick one of these videos or whatever. Um, I did something recently, like yesterday or whatever. I was thinking about things like things that are going on in society, the media, whatever you want to say. And I said to myself, I'm like, I want to research, right? Something on YouTube. 'Cause I can't, dude. I could do it deeper, but I don't see what uh what the point is. I think it would come up with less results um than on YouTube because everybody knows about YouTube. Nobody knows. I can't even remember what that other uh platform is. Um, what is it? But I go on YouTube the other day and I type in just as a to see how many people are doing this or whatever, and I guess you could say I come across three things, but the most important thing, I wanted to see how many people I specifically, the idea I had was to see how many people are using like a powered respirator to take down uh plaster or whatever, right? So I'm on YouTube and every you see people with the uh the two filter like cartridge respirators, um mostly with I think those 3M ones or whatever, which obviously that's the market is saturated with that or whatever, but um so and then you might have somebody with some other one or whatever, but and then you have people with um paper ones or whatever those N95s or whatever, which are garbage. So the reason why I'm putting out this video, whatever, right, is because when you talk about these people like any of these people like these these blacks and like Stephen Colbert and like anybody who's on his show or whatever, like the shit that they're talking about is like, first off, like this shit is like the type of poison like Putin uses on like these political opponents or people he doesn't like one little drop, like some sort of like cyanide poisoning or whatever, like a tiny drop will kill like 10 men or whatever it is. Dude, you want to know something? What the thing with that is that, dude, I'm looking at like 10 people at least or whatever on there, and not one of them has a powered respirator. Not a single person. They had disposable N95 masks and regular fucking respirators. Nobody buys those powered respirators cuz first off, okay? There's probably two reasons I can think of, right? Is what the fuck is the point of buying that shit if you know it, like maybe it's more expensive or whatever, like who is going to want to buy something or whatever that it costs twice as much to operate or whatever, and also twice as like three times as much or however much it is, like five times as much to buy, if you can just buy something that is uh you know just as good or whatever, protects you just as much. And another thing, what if the thing breaks or some shit? You just spent crazy amounts of money on something that is like unless you return it to the company or whatever, you can't do anything with it. It's a piece of junk. It's like a paperweight or whatever. So I mean, dude, I'm looking at like there's people like, if you have to ask me, I've noticed that people like the Chinese, like I watched that CGTN or whatever, they mention that as like you should be using this for this job or whatever, but nobody's using it. You want me to use it, but nobody else is using it? Dude, think about how fucking ridiculous. And also I made my own or whatever during the what is that? Is that I made my own like whatever, is that last summer or whatever? I'm trying to use that or whatever. I put my own. I go, in theory this is the same exact concept or whatever. It's the same thing, right? I'm like, what's the difference? It's a pleated filter. A pleated filter is a pleated filter is a pleated filter. So I make my own, and what I notice is somehow, some way, that shit just got through anyways. So think about it. You're paying $500 or $1,200 for something that you're gonna be sucking in more shit into your lungs or whatever than which is a regular one. What is the dude? What is the point of that? What, dude? You want to know something? The main focus or whatever that everybody should be considering is the fact that like there's people that who have like what is the word I'm looking for? They've like uh what is that word when you ban somebody to like an island or whatever? I can't remember. You like banish, you banish somebody to like an island or whatever, and they like Australia, they're like prisoners or some whatever the hell it is, and they're like, you're doomed, you're not gonna make it, whatever it is, and like dude, nobody else is using that shit or whatever, including me or whatever. Like nobody's using it, but you need to use it in order to survive, right? Dude, I see some guys, there's dust still in the air. You want to know what's difference between the guys, me and the guys on YouTube? Is I realize, like, I go, you don't want to be in a contaminated environment. You go outside. So, dude, unless those guys are on, like, a fucking green screen or some shit or whatever, which I don't see what the fucking, it makes no sense or whatever. Dude, you know what the difference between me and those guys are? Is I wouldn't take my mask off until I was, like far away from that shit or outside, okay? So I would know that I'm not breathing that shit in. Those guys, they just take it off in the middle of a shovel in that shit, and you can still see shit in the fucking air, and they're breathing it in, and they don't give a shit, okay? I don't even do stupid shit like that, and you're saying I'm gonna die or whatever, right? No, you want to know something? The shit is that you're talking about is so unfair and ridiculous or whatever. It's like the way that it's like the people on some of these shows that I see, like that Colbert or whatever. It's like, dude, you don't create anything for society or whatever. You're a parasite. Like you're telling me I'm a virus or whatever, dude. You want to know something? The way that you build houses is that you kill somebody and you put in like a new kitchen, a new bathroom, a new floor, and you're like, well, I guess, and you pay somebody, let's say you pay somebody to do all that work or whatever, and you're like, well, I guess I got a new house. That dead guy doesn't need his house anymore because he's dead. It's like, I'm a great builder, whatever. Too bad you didn't build shit. You didn't build shit when you killed the guy, and you didn't build shit when you put, maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys are a bunch of scumbags, and you're just like, all I need is a new toilet. That's it. Put a new toilet in. I take a shower or whatever the fuck you think about things or whatever, and you're like, this is my house now. I live here. Even though some shit in this house is like 20 years old, 30 years old or whatever, this is my house. This is how I build things. It works for me or whatever. I'm gonna welcome some Mexicans and some people from Nigeria or whatever, and we're gonna live in like utopian society or whatever. It's gonna be great. and 20 years from now, there'll be nobody like me. Do you want to know something? Good luck with that shit. You want to know something? Uh, dude, I noticed that nobody has those stupid power respirators, but I gotta buy one, right? Even though I didn't even have the money, even though I had no idea about those shits or whatever, even though they weren't even, I didn't know they were a real thing, and nobody else did either. Nobody else does or whatever, right? Like, you need one. It's ridiculous. You're completely ridiculous.